All right, let me ask you a question. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, if I could just make myself do what I know I should, everything would change? But somehow, you still didn't do it. Picture this. You're at your desk. Your to-do list is right there, staring at you. You click on a motivational video, and for about 5 glorious minutes, you're convinced you're unstoppable. And then, you're scrolling TikTok, watching a cat dance to a remix of the Titanic theme song. Let me tell you, my friend, winning in life has nothing to do with feeling like it. It's about mastering the skill of making yourself take action, especially when every part of you wants to do anything else. This is the art of forcing yourself to win. Chapter 1. Why motivation lies to you. Imagine this. You get home from work and tell yourself, tonight's the night. I'm finally going to tackle that thing I've been avoiding. You even make a cup of coffee for the extra boost. You sit down, open your laptop, and somehow an hour later, you're reorganizing your Spotify playlist instead. You didn't suddenly forget how important your goal was. You just didn't feel like doing it. And that's the trap. Motivation is sneaky. It makes you believe that once you feel inspired, the work will be easy. But motivation isn't a reliable power source. It's an emotion, and emotions change. If you only act when you feel motivated, you're essentially letting a mood swing decide your future. Here's what behavioral psychology tells us. Action often comes before motivation, not after. When you take even a small step, your brain rewards you with dopamine. That hit of dopamine makes you want to keep going. But you have to move first, and the feeling follows. Think of motivation like that friend who's amazing to hang out with when they actually show up. The problem? They cancel on you half the time. You can't plan your life around them. So instead of asking, do I feel like doing this? Switch to, what's the smallest action I can take right now? Even 2 minutes count. Once you start, your brain will itch to finish. Motivation may lie, but movement tells the truth. Chapter 2. Building internal pressure. If there's no fire under you, it's amazing how comfortable the couch can feel. Left to our own devices, we naturally drift toward what's easy, scrolling, snacking, just checking emails. And before you know it, the day's gone. Here's the thing. Humans are built to respond to urgency. It's why you can procrastinate on a project for 3 weeks, then finish it in a panic the night before it's due. That's not laziness. That's psychology. The Yerkes-Dodson law explains it perfectly. A certain amount of stress actually improves performance. Too little stress and you get bored or distracted. Too much stress and you freeze. But in the middle, that's your sweet spot. Enough pressure to keep you moving. Not so much that you shut down. Athletes use this all the time. Countdown clocks, scoreboards, and crowds all create urgency. Even in practice, they'll set challenges like, make 10 shots in a row before you can leave. That pressure sharpens focus. You can use the same concept in everyday life through forced friction. Publicly commit to your goal so people expect progress. Hello, social pressure. Put money on the line. Your brain hates losing more than it loves winning. Set micro deadlines instead of vague promises. I'll finish the first draft by 3 p.m. works better than I'll work on it this week. The goal isn't to stress yourself into burnout. It's to engineer just enough pressure to make inaction uncomfortable. Because once staying the same feels worse than moving forward, movement becomes automatic. Chapter 3. The Identity Override. Most people try to be disciplined by forcing themselves through sheer willpower. But willpower is like a phone battery. It drains fast. You don't win by charging it over and over. You win by upgrading the whole operating system. That's where identity comes in. James Clear in Atomic Habits explains that every action you take is a vote for the type of person you believe you are. When you act like a winner, even in small ways, you start to see yourself as one. And when that identity takes root, the hard things stop feeling like forced effort. They just feel normal. Think of it like switching your phone's OS. If you go from an outdated, glitchy system to a new one, the entire experience changes. You don't have to try to make it work. The new settings just run in the background. The same applies to you. If you see yourself as someone who always finishes what they start, finishing things becomes second nature. If you see yourself as the kind of person who's always late, guess what? You'll keep proving yourself right. Here's your practical move. Name your identity shift. Don't say, I'm trying to wake up early. Say, I'm the type of person who gets up before the world wakes up. Don't say, I'm going to try and eat healthier. Say, I'm the kind of person who fuels my body for performance. When identity leads, actions follow. And once your identity shifts, you no longer have to force yourself. You just do what that kind of person does. Chapter 4. The 2-minute war. Starting is the real battlefield. It's not the whole workout, the entire report, or the massive project that trips you up. It's the first step. Psychologists call this activation energy, the effort it takes to begin a task. Even the smallest barrier, like having to find your shoes or open your laptop, can kill momentum before it starts. But when you reduce that barrier, the chance of follow-through skyrockets. Think about it. If you want to work out, just put on your gym clothes. Don't promise a full workout. Just dress for it. If you want to write, simply open the document. These are micro actions, but they tip the first domino. That's where the 2-minute rule comes in. Commit to doing the task for just 2 minutes. That's it. Read 1 page. Write 1 sentence. Do 1 push-up. Once you're in motion, your brain will fight harder to keep going than it fought to stop you. The war isn't against the whole task. It's against the first 2 minutes. Win that battle, and the rest usually takes care of itself. Chapter 5. Emotional bribery. Humans love rewards. It's wired into us. Our brains run on a simple system. Do something good. Get something good. And here's the twist. Dopamine, the chemical that makes you feel good, doesn't just spike when you get the reward. It spikes when you anticipate it. You can use that to your advantage. Pair a task you've been avoiding with something you genuinely enjoy. Want to get on the treadmill? Only allow yourself to watch your favorite show while walking on it. Need to get through a deep work session? Save your favorite coffee for the moment you finish. This is called emotional bribery. And no, it's not cheating. It's training your brain to link hard work with pleasure. Create a reward loop. Do the task. Get a small, immediate reward. Let your brain start craving the task because it predicts the reward. Over time, the habit stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like something you actually want to do, because your brain thinks it leads to pleasure. Bribery? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. Chapter 6. The last-minute push. Think about the last time you had a truly urgent deadline. Maybe it was an assignment due at midnight, a flight you couldn't miss, or a bill that had to be paid today. There was no room for, I don't feel like it. You just moved. When there's no choice, you act. The problem is, most of our personal goals don't come with that kind of hard deadline. Nobody's going to chase you if you skip the gym or delay that business idea another month. Which is why they sit unfinished. The trick is creating artificial no-choice moments. Putting yourself in a position where forward is the only direction left. Think of it like burning your ships. The legend of a general who, upon arriving in enemy territory, ordered his men to destroy their own boats. Retreat wasn't an option, so victory became the only way home. You can do the same in your own life. Schedule accountability check-ins with someone who will actually follow up. Send work in progress to someone before it's finished. Now you have to deliver the final version. The point isn't to live in panic mode, it's to harness just enough pressure so later stops being an option. Once there's a line you can't back away from, you'll be surprised how quickly you move forward. Forcing yourself isn't about living in a constant state of stress or pressure. It's not about white-knuckling your way through every task for the rest of your life. It's about training a skill, the ability to act without negotiating with yourself. Once that skill becomes automatic, you won't need force. You won't need a pep talk. You'll simply do the thing because that's who you are now. Here's your action step. Pick one area of your life you've been procrastinating on. Just one. Then apply a forcing technique from this video today. Publicly commit to it. Set a micro deadline. Or start with 2 minutes. No excuses, no mental bargaining. Do it not because you feel like it, but because you've decided you're the kind of person who follows through. And if this helped you, share it with someone you know is stuck. Sometimes all it takes is the right push at the right moment. Like and subscribe for more tools to master your mind and win on purpose. Because the art of forcing yourself isn't about pressure, it's about freedom.